Okay, I'm going to tell you another story. I've got atmospheric lighting for this one, as you can see. That's not because it's a particularly ghostly one, although it's quite strange. It's more that it's rainy outside and it's gotten dark, so I put a lamp up. So this story is called Two Marks. Mark woke up in bed one morning to find his wife making love to another man. At first he thought it was a dream, and he turned his head quietly to watch her moving up and down as the man entered her from behind. It was almost charming. Then, as he smelled her breath and felt the mattress move under him, he realized no, this was real. He pulled himself upright. "Celia," he said, "what's going on?" "Ooh," said Celia. "Ah, ooh, ah." "I don't believe this," he said. She opened her eyes to look at him and smiled. "Darling Mark," she said. "Oh, darling Mark." "But who is it?" he demanded, craning his neck over her body to see her lover. The man had buried his head in her neck so that his face was obscured by her hair. He could see nothing. "Don't you know?" she crooned. Feeling somehow that he did, Mark shook his head. He wanted to cry, but was dry of tears. He got out of bed and stood there, looking down at them. "It's only you, Mark," she told him, still smiling, as she moved up and down, pushed from behind. "It's only ever you. It's only always been you." At last the man raised his head and looked across, and it was, just as his wife had said, himself. "But I'm so young," he cried. "Yes," she said, "so young, Mark." Mark walked over to the chest of drawers and leant on it, appalled. How could he compete with his young self? Celia looked over to him, her face flushed with her love-making. "We all want to be young," she said. "Yes," he said, "but not like this." And finally he began to cry. "My darling," she said. She disentangled herself and went over to him, pulling her arms around him and resting her head on his chest. His young self, smiling from the bed, waited patiently for her to come back. "It's been so long now, hasn't it, Mark? But I think one ghost is enough, don't you?" She returned to the bed and leaned over her lover, climbing on board of him, where she began to rock to and fro, crooning sounds of love at him. His young self cupped her breasts and looked up into her face. They were so obviously in love. And Mark stood by the chest of drawers, watching until the sun rose and began to shine through the curtains, quietly and steadily fading away. There you go, Two Marks. I think it's about old age or something